Hello folks, welcome back to Martin's Adventure, and today we're here at the bridges, the causeway, the Rickenbacker Causeway from the city of Miami all the way to Key Biscayne. And it's a series of, I believe it's a total of 4.4 miles from the entrance of to the islands, to the bridges, to the causeway, which is that way, all the way behind those trees. And then it goes all the way, all like that, to all the way to the tip, all the way yonder, where we did a previous video with the lighthouse. So let's walk around, check it out. Now these trails have spectacular views, because you got the ocean on both sides. You got the Atlantic Ocean there, you got Biscayne Bay there, you got the views of the buildings from the Brickell section of Miami, and then as we go further down you'll be able to see downtown Miami. But this is basically, I am up there where the red dot is, you are here, and it's 8.5 miles all the way to the end. As you can see, to mile marker is 0 down here. That's where the lighthouse is that we did in a previous video. Check it out, the Cape Florida lighthouse if you haven't done so, where I climb up the lighthouse. And here's the entrance, and where it says mile 8.5, that's the entrance. And there you have a toll booth you have to go to, toll road, for like $1.25 I believe it is. And you come in to the Rickenbacker Causeway. Now the first section of the Rickenbacker Causeway takes you from the city of Miami right there toward Virginia Key. Here is where it's blue up here, that's where the big bridge is, which I'll take a peek of it in a little bit. Then you reach Virginia Key, that's where Virginia Key you have the Miami Aquarium, you have University of Miami Marine Research Education Center, you got the Grandin Park Marina then here, Maritime Bridges. You also have Magic Academy is also right over here across the street from the aquarium. Then you have Grandin Park Beach, that's where I grew up going to that beach. All my childhood, that's where my parents used to come all the time, which is here. This whole side is Grandin Park Beach, and that's where the old zoo used to be also. On this side you have the golf course, Grandin Park Golf Course. There's a tennis center. There's actually, and then here, down here you reach the Key Biscayne, where you have their city hall, the whole city, and then Bill Bragg's Cape Florida State Park, which is all this section down here that we already did once before. So let's go ahead and check it out as we walk, because you can walk the little trails here that they have, or you could go that way along the sand, the water, beneath those trees, those plants there, and those palm trees, or down the middle of the road. Now in this section of the beach area here, pets are allowed, so a lot of people bring their dogs, and their dogs go in the water on both sides. Either side also. That's what I was saying there. You can see Brickell area, skyscrapers, apartments, hotels, office buildings on that side. So we'll continue walking this way. Sunset to sunrise. Otherwise it's closed. So sunrise to sunset, the park is open. Now it's free parking. I remember back in the day they used to charge, but they don't charge parking anymore. So that is fantastic. Now I'm probably going to have to do voiceover right because of the loud sounds of the wind. Here is a view. I was in the little trail over there. I just crossed the little street here, and now I am here on this side. You can see spectacular views of the ocean here. And that's the city of Miami over there. And that is Vizcaya, the Vizcaya Museum there in the state. That all was donated. The owner of that property left it on, donated it for a museum, education purposes, and a hospital. So we donated everything. So here as I walk, we see a first structure, which is a restroom structure, and we see a family of ducks outside. See the mother and father duck with all these little ducklings here, all gathered together here, and some are in the sun, some in the shade, as they wait for people to try to feed them. So well, here we'll continue walking toward the first major bridge. Here as we walk continue walking south. So as we continue walking, we reach a concession stand. Here, this one is called Arepas, if I'm not mistaken. As we get closer here, did some voice override because the wind was very loud. But here you see they sell burgers, chicken tenders, and arepas at Ricky's Arepas. You have some tables to sit down and park benches to eat. Also here on the right side, you have to go sailing. If you want to go sailing, you can rent a little, I guess, caravan and sailboat and go sailing here. There you see a person sailing all the way out there. I don't know, you can see it right at the center. It's a little sailboat top. And then here's where you rent them. Very windy, so you can hear. No lifeguard on duty. Now this is the part of the parking lot, and you say, "Oh, this place is empty." Well, this is empty. It is a Friday. Right now it's around 10:30 in the morning, 10:20 in the morning. So here is a spectacular view of Brickell section of Miami. There you see all their buildings there. Now one of the buildings there, that one, and the one to the left with a little pointy red that I showed earlier, the one in the middle with like the stairs going into the water, and this one right over here, that one right there, and the one there on the left, the little red part with the zigzaggy roof on the top, little blue section in the middle. Those were iconic buildings in the 1980s during the Miami Vice series on NBC, Miami Vice, with Don Johnson as Crockett and Tubbs. Those buildings always came out in the intro, and sometimes were in part of the show. This is the William Powell Bridge that we're going to be going up now together, and this bridge is a very high bridge, as you can see from there. It goes over there, crossing one side to the other of the bay. This is part of the Rickenbacker Causeway. This is the William Powell Bridge, as I said, and we're going to go up now. Now this bridge also, if you see some of the videos from the 1980s, some of the shows, Miami Vice from the 80s, there were sections of it filmed in this area when the bridge was under construction. And you see nighttime scenes, and you see all these orange rectangle barricades attached to our ground facing up with a little flashing light on the top. And that was here in this section when they were building this bridge. And I believe it actually was on the opposite section, coming from south to north, where that section it was filmed. But here we go. I'm going up the bridge with you guys, doing voiceover ride because it was very loud there because of the wind. And going up, and here you'll see the sign here on the right that says William Powell Bridge. As we continue walking up William M. Powell up the bridge. This is mile 6. So here we continue walking up. Below is the area we're walking to before we reached it. Underneath there, you can actually turn around and go to the other side, the east side. But here's a 360 view up from where I'm at right now at the bridge. You see people biking, cars passing. You see the beginning of Brickell. This is more Brickell here, and then downtown toward the end. And then here's a 360. Here's below where we started walking earlier. You know, spectacular views from up here, and we're not even at the top yet, but you see spectacular views all the way around. This is a very busy highway also. This street here, a lot of traffic, cars go pretty fast. Well, folks, I have reached the top, the summit, and here you can see the access. As I pan down here, the access to the for the boats to cross from one side to the other. And then over there, those buildings you see at the far, that is South Beach, and part of Miami Beach. That is the South Beach area, and the Port of Miami right there. And then here you see Brickell, and part of downtown. After those last buildings there, then it becomes downtown, where you see the rest of the buildings, but it turns more inward. So these buildings cover those buildings. But spectacular views from up here, folks. Spectacular. Very windy, so I had to take out the sound because it was super loud. You see some boats coming across under the bridge. And we'll continue walking to the other side. So, folks, as I commence my descent here on the bridge, here we got some views. There's a boat coming here underneath us right now, crossing over from east to west in that direction. And then you have a glimpse of the old bridge down there as we continue looking at the spectacular views. Down there, that is looking west. But that is Virginia Key up ahead. And here's the old bridge down there. Now, that old bridge was opened in 1947. The current bridge opened in 1985, the one we're walking in right now. And the old bridge, until several years ago, was used as a fishing pier and always used to be packed with people fishing. One of the latest hurricanes, Hurricane Irma, several years ago damaged it, and it's been closed off. There's talks about renovating it back again, but that hasn't happened. As we continue walking downward here on the bridge, you see the traffic there going by, and great views. Temperature was like in the 90s. I started walking around 10:15 where we started. Now it's around 11 in the morning. It's a hot day, not that many people out. Now here I'm focusing this way, that's Virginia Key there, but that orange dome, goldish dome you see if I pan back into it, that is the Miami Seaquarium, right over there, right there. That's one of the domes. Here are more views of the old bridge with some danger signs of objects might be falling from underneath the bridge, so folks not to go under the bridge when they're on their boats. So here, panning up over Virginia Key to the east side of it, and that is the Rusty Pelican restaurant. Now that restaurant is a great restaurant. If you're ever down here in Miami, try it out. It's fantastic. So folks, we have reached back to the bottom. That's the other bridge, the old bridge there. They only kept the south end of it. It was used as a fishing pier, but they closed to the last several years because of falling, hanging debris, as you can see there at the side. So they closed to that, but that bridge is from 1942, folks. So this is the new one that was built in the 1980s, the one that we just went over here. There's some views of Brickell, downtown, Port of Miami. And as we walk now toward the bottom to the sections here, more parking, more walking areas. Here now, more beaches on the sides. Over there beside the Rusty Pelican that I mentioned earlier, there is a marina. You could dock your boat. You could dock it on the water or dry dock it. They have both options there. And then now, as you can see, once we cross the Powell Bridge here, we have reached Virginia Key. Let me see the sign there. We have reached Virginia Key. Now Virginia Key is part of the city of Miami. So it's the same mayor, it's the city of Miami, it's the same fire department, same police department. And here beside the marina, the restaurant, beaches on this side, and on the other side, you also have the Miami Aquarium, and you also have Mast High School, which is very, you have to be very smart to go to that high school, in other words. And then also, and it's a public school, but you have to get into it. It can't be just, I live in the neighborhood, I'm going there. You really have to join in. I know they were trying to change it a few years ago. Some of the folks that live in Key Biscayne all the way at the end were saying, why do they have to go all the way to the mainland when they have a high school right here? I think they made some exceptions. Not quite sure, but for everybody else, you have to get accepted to be in there in that public school because it's very, very bright kids. Now, this beach here gets more people than the first one I was at, as we're more into the beach area. Also on the left here, there's also Miami Marine Stadium, which got damaged during 1992 Hurricane Andrew back then. Here's a view of where you wanted to go to the fishing pier. The fishing pier park is beyond this point, but the fishing pier is closed. Also have some restrooms there. So as I was saying earlier, the stadium there was damaged during Hurricane Andrew and has been closed since then. There's been a lot of talk and a lot of folks donating even some stars like Gloria Stefan and others trying to raise money to bring it back to life, bring the stadium back to life to American Stadium. They used to have concerts there all the time. They used to have boat races all the time there prior to 1992. Now sometimes they give concerts outside in the stadium parking lots. There's a country concert that comes here every year in November, mid-November, and it's held there outside the stadium. And other concerts and police motorcycle training is held there too, and bicycle training outside. There's like little trails and stuff after the stadium. So here, as you can see, more folks on this beach than the other beaches that were on the other side. Well, here you can get a glimpse, a better glimpse of the bridge that I just went on, that we walked together over. And there you can see the bridge. That is the bridge. That's the old bridge at the bottom. There's only the south end, and that's the big bridge that we just traversed together over. And my car is parked all the way yonder toward the end, back there by the building. So let's continue walking this way a little bit more. There's our catamaran, launch only parking on this side. See more folks on the beach on this side. So let's keep on walking. Another food truck, doesn't open until noon. Another food truck over there, concession stand. Let's walk a little bit more. Now the time is right now is 11 a.m. I think I started my trek around 10 something in the morning. It is exactly 11:05 a.m. right now. It is hot, folks. Temperature has to be in the high 80s because I am feeling it. So we're gonna go walk a little bit this way through the trail. Maybe get a glimpse of the Marine Stadium so I could get you from the outside. Wind is a little bit more calmer down here than on the bridge. I remember the bridge was very loud. I had to do voice override. But here we have a better sound quality. Now this is a very, very busy street. This is the street that takes you from the city of Miami to Virginia Key, Grandin Park, and then Key Biscayne, and then Cape Florida all the way at the end. It is very traffic. Its speeds are pretty high. Speed limit is 40, but people go a lot faster. And if you check reports, a lot, they have like a bike trail there, like you see the gentlemen on the bikes. A lot of folks have passed away getting hit by cars here in this section of the bike trail. That's cars, some cars lose control, or folks, some bicyclists lose control and get into the lanes. And unfortunately, there's been some tragedies, like another Ricky's Arepas, and Mary's Tacos is already open for business. See, as you can see, the parking lots here are more full, as there are a lot more people on the beach on this side. Here's another view of the beach. So here I'm walking in Virginia Key. Here's the dry dock I was telling you about across the street. For the boats at the marina. Here, look at this beautiful dog there on the water with its owner. We got some boats out there. As we continue walking south on Virginia Key. I was gonna do Virginia Key another day, but I'll give you a glimpse of it now, and then I'll come in another day and do the Seaquarium. They have some beaches on the east side of the island after the school and after the Marine Stadium. So we'll check out that at another day. As now I will stop here and turn around. Maybe we could do also a Seaquarium visit one of these days and do a video of that. I don't even know anymore if this aquarium is still open. As I know there's a lot of litigation going back and forth since the county wanted it shut down because they had some violations and stuff. But over there is this aquarium where you see the dome. That's where the seals are. Let me go flip around slowly. Oh, this is a great view of the bridge there. Great view of the bridge that we walked over together. So let's continue walking back. So folks, here we are. We're gonna go back up the bridge, cross to the other side, walk that 6 or 8 blocks then to my car after that. And we'll see the views now headed northward. Headed north here. We went south the first time. We're gonna go here up the Powell Bridge, part of the Rickenbacker Causeway that leads you from the city of Miami to the town of Key Biscayne. So here we go. Let's go check it out. Here you got some more beautiful views of the skyline of Brickell here in Miami, Florida. Now, as you can see, it's not that busy right now. You see people coming up and down the bridge, jogging, doing exercise. You see a few of them. Now, if you come in the afternoon, I would say Monday through Thursday, between 5 and 7, it is a log jam of people here going up and down the bridge. And here on the green side, bicycles going through. And like I said earlier, the fishing pier used to be always packed with people fishing. So let's continue going up the bridge. See you on the other side. I'll probably break off and break back on every few minutes to get you some spectacular views here, as you can see, of the ocean. And I'll see you at the top. Just wanted to take a moment. Let me zoom into this boat where they have an inflatable slide from the upper deck of that boat, and the folks are just sliding down into the water there. Pretty cool. I had to film it 1 second as I go up the bridge here. But yeah, when I started filming, there was a person sliding down. Pretty cool. And then you see here some boats crossing the bridge coming towards us. over there that you see that cluster of buildings, that is Coconut Grove, also a part of Miami, Florida. So here we're going on the decline here, down the path. Now the views of the Brickell skyline. Brickell starts like right there where that first building is, right there. And then it continues all the way that way, like I said earlier. See you at the bottom. So I am now ground level again in the Rickenbacker Causeway here on the little side beaches, going in through one of the trails. Helicopter going through there, going through there. And then over here's that section where we saw all the ducks before. Now there's a lot more ducks. People feeding them there. So there must be, I don't know, 50 ducks there. See there? We're walking closer toward the duck. It's a gentleman feeding them bread there. So as we head back toward the car, folks, remember to like, share, and subscribe. Appreciate you watching the video here with me and taking this adventure of walking part of the causeway, the east side of the causeway, toward Virginia Key and going over the Powell Bridge. And another helicopter there, like they're sightseeing helicopters. And I get here closer to the ocean here. But folks, remember to like, share, and subscribe. Also check the sister channel of this channel. I'll leave the link below, Martin's Carnival channel. Check that channel out too. It's basically more going to events of carnivals throughout the state of Florida and Louisiana. I had one from Louisiana this year, and you can see there. There's also a Monday, says on Saturdays, Monday series also on that channel. This week's Carnival Ride, where we specify only on one ride. But folks, there's a lot more videos coming on in this channel. We have this, as we did. There's going to be another section of the Virginia Key area back there that I will film also. There's also a video of Bayside Marketplace, Bayfront Park. Those are all coming. I'm going to try to see if I can get some tours of the stadiums inside, working out, see how I could do that, and that they let me film as we take the tour. Also, there's some trips coming up toward Mississippi, Alabama, and Louisiana again. So there'll be more videos coming out soon. Football season's coming back, so you know we'll be at the UM football games. We're going to be at an LSU football game also like last year. There might be some others. We'll see, maybe a Virginia Tech game out there, not sure yet. Working out the logistics of coordinating everything with all the events I have to do for the other channel, also for Martin's Carnival channel. That season really kicks off now in October, and it goes to April, so a lot of videos are in that time frame. So folks, remember to like, share, and subscribe. Tell your friends, share it. Let's make this channel grow so I could do more stuff and travel more and go to more places. We need your subscriptions and we need your views. Some of our videos on this channel have gotten 2, 3, 5,000 views, but we don't have that many subscribers. So help out the channel, help us grow, and I'll see you on the next one. And if there's anything you would like to see me go here in South Florida or anywhere else in the southern US, leave it in the comments and I will try to make it out. I'll put it on the schedule. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Appreciate you watching. Some bonus footage, folks, of driving under the Powell Bridge as I'm heading back toward the city from the parking lots. So I drove all the way to the end from where I was parked and then turning underneath the bridge to go back into the city of Miami. Back into the mainland.